Was you and I verse. We're gonna do a video on Moon in Aquarius from the first to the 12th house. So first we're gonna get a little breakdown on Aquarius and the Moon. First of all, and this is a fixed air sign. So being consistent or stubborn on communication and thinking. So thinking and communicating, either way or vice versa. So with that being said, Aquarius is a in the moon is like going to be a thought instead of an actual feeling. Like so, whenever you're reacting and responding, it'll be more of like a thought, and you'll actually be considering that actual thought before reacting to it. So that's your reaction filtering system and your emotions. So your emotions are more communicative. Pardon me. Like for example, the moon being here in a fixed space is going to be a thought about structure because it's ruled by Saturn, and then you have the co-ruler being Uranus. So it'll be a unique way of feeling as well. So a direct, unique feeling, and due to it being fixed, people will either see your feeling as consistent or stubborn. So with that being said, it'll be like an emotional state of um, like having a line of reasoning and continuing with that line of reasoning until that feeling has accumulated. So this is the way that you manifest as well. So like I say with Aquarius being in the moon, you'll have that line of reasoning feeling. So it's like a thought pattern. So you're thinking on the way of feeling, and you're like, okay, does this feeling actually bring me to the right thought space? So it's like um, thinking and communicating to yourself as well. And like I said, due to it being fixed, it'll be seen as a consistent way of thinking and communicating in the emotional realm, like about emotions, or it'll be looked at as stubborn, like there's maybe certain emotions that you won't speak on. You see what I'm saying with certain individuals. And this is also where you feel comfortable in the public space. You feel comfortable in public spaces. You see what I'm saying? Like to say, you may not always be that out in public, like most expressive individual, but it's to be known that you like to be in a unique space. You see what I'm saying? You like to be um, in like the humanitarian, so to speak. So like you like to associate. You're a group kind of person. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of most likely what will make you feel emotionally comfortable. Will be the group setting. So it'll just kind of filter as well through maybe your actions and the way it's acted out. If you have a sun sign, maybe squares it or opposes it, for example. And then if you have a different filtering system for the sun sign, it'll like filter in that way. For example, if you had Aquarius with a Aquarius moon with a Sagittarius sun, then it'd be a sextile. But if you're looking at it as a square, this would be Scorpio here as the sun to the Aquarius moon. That'd be a square. So this is like in the natal chart and things like that. So like I say, the moon in Aquarius is having that line of reasoning and that thought pattern emotionally, where you either think a thought is trivial, think a feeling is trivial, so you don't express it, or you think and communicate to yourself, and like, okay, you validate it within yourself. That's kind of how the air signs work in the moon. So in the first house, well, pardon me, in the transiting chart, this is a time to communicate about your structure and the time to um, think about things that are unique. You see what I'm saying? Have your unique emotions. You want to think and more, contemplate a bit more on those, and then whenever you're associated with that group, actually communicate that emotion, and this will help you out with the Aquarius energy. So it's a time to be direct and a time to be uh, like in that line of reasoning aspect. Like if you have an idea of where things are going, you kind of want to keep on that thought pattern and accumulate more on that. And with this being said, also with this current transit that we're dealing with, it's a balsamic phase to this new moon in Pisces. So the moon is finishing up in Aquarius, and it's just traveling with Saturn here soon. So it's going to conjunct it if it hasn't already. And with that being said, we're gonna be in the emotional realm of structure and the emotional realm of building. So you're gonna be feeling more about what you've been building. You see what I'm saying? You're reacting and responding to this what you've structured. You see what I'm saying? All right. And then we look at the moon in Aquarius in the first house. This would be um, a associative way of personality. So you're like having this a way of building. Like what have you built in your personal realm? You see what I'm saying? Like your personal affairs. This is a time to react and respond to your personal affairs that you've built due to Saturn being here, like I say. And also, I'm pretty sure there's other alignments that are around the Aquarius. Well, the sun, like I have in the title, is at a cusp right now with Pisces. So this is a time also you're going to be looking at like what you've accumulated in associative realm and like okay, where do I actually want to be in this new moon? Like what kind of um, second house, like what kind of things am I going to be valuing? Different things like that. So like, this is a time to get your personal affairs taken care of, so that way you can value the right things in the new moon. You see what I'm saying? Can be a way of looking at the houses and how they transition. So you can look at how the moon accumulates throughout the sun, and then whenever it wanes and you know sheds, so to speak. And then so the higher octave for the first house in Aquarius is reacting and responding to what you've built, and you actually have something to build on. You have an emotional realm that you can actually, build on that line of reasoning and continue with that. So this is a time to think and communicate about what you've personally built and where you want to what else you want to personally build and what you're planning to value. You see what I'm saying? So on the lower octave, you feel uncomfortable reacting and responding to what you've accumulated and built in the first house. So your personal affairs make you feel uncomfortable. What you've built in your personal life and like your kind of first impression on an individual, like your vibration, your personal vibration, is something that you build on. So on the lower octave, it's like you kind of feel anxious or uncomfortable around other individuals. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like Aquarius is that energy that's unique. So at a time that you don't want to be looked at as weird and things like that, that'll be that lower octave. You'll be seeing yourself as personally in that weird space, like just for having this certain emotion that you're going through. So to rectify that would be to accept what you have personally built and what your personal vibration is now, and figure out how to associate in a better way personally, and just be able to shed what you feel is necessary to actually value the correct things for your life. For example, like if you're trying to get your financial state, this is the time to probably shed that relationship that you're spending too much money in. This is a time to shed those eating habits, like or those groups that you're going, those group dates that you're going in, or group movies. You see what I'm saying? This is the time to personally disassociate. So on the second house, this is a time to value what you associative, like you build on associative wise. So the person, places, and things that you're associated with, you're going to be on the higher octave, being able to build on what you value in your association. So the people that you value in your association, you're going to be building more on that. Like I say, with the Saturn alignment here. And then whenever it goes into that third house, whatever you've built and valued in the second house, you're going to be able to communicate that in your environment and have that new accumulation emotionally, and be able to adapt to whatever's going on in the environment for the new moon. So pretty much like this is all about the balsamic phase. Is about this is something that I didn't really speak on in the moon phases video because I just wanted to give overview. But there's actually certain terms for each part of the moon phases as well, like even in more in depth. Like for example, right now we're going through the balsamic phase right before the new moon, which is pretty much the same thing as a waning gibbous. So it's just like, getting the moon is disappearing, so that way we can have new. I mean, pardon me, not disappearing, but shedding, so that way we can have new accumulation in the new moon. So with the third house, pardon me, with the second house being here, the higher octave would be being able to value what you're associated with, and on the lower octave, you feel uncomfortable reacting and responding to what you value in your associations and what you're building on, um, in your idea realm, even, or even the people that you're valuing, like the people that you're associated with, you don't really value them. The places that you're associated with, you don't really value them. The things that you have in your actual circumference and realm of reality, you don't exactly value that. So this is a time to kind of get your mind right and realize that, okay, I have a lot more than what I've accumulated in this last space, and maybe I just need to get my values right, so that way I can actually have um, a good new accumulation in my environment. And so that way oh, okay, I actually am in a very good space comparatively to where I was previously in certain spaces. That's one way you can start. That's the starting point to get out of the lower octave here and rectify that. So then, with the third house in Pisces, this would be um, an environment. Pardon me, not the third house. Yeah, then with your third house in Pisces, if we're finishing up the second house, all right, you want to get that a little bit more of that energy. The spirits want to hear a little bit more of that energy on the third house aspect. So with that being said, if you have Aquarius in that second house, then the third house in Pisces, for the new moon, you have a new accumulation in your environment, and you'll have a new way of feeling. So like a new way of adapting to other people's emotions, and also your own and things like that. So with Aquarius in the third house now, this will be reacting and responding to the associates in your environment. So on the that you're building on as well. So you're building with the associates with the Aquarius in the third house, higher octave. So you're building in your environment with the associates. So you actually have people in your circumference, and you're working with them on the higher octave, and you're actually able to get that line of reasoning, like I was speaking on before, and actually see like, okay, this is where this person's mind at, and this is where their trajectory for their life is, and this is where they want to fly to. You see what I'm saying? This is where they want to go. So we can get there because they've actually um, communicated third house what they actually want to associate with and where they want to what group they want to be a part of, and I'm part of that. So boom, now we building on where we want to go together type thing. So this is the third house here. You on the higher octave, you feel comfortable communicating with your associates in your environment. It's like kind of like an interesting thing because in your environment, you like feel if it's more of an association. This would be like it can be a bit of like it's a trine energy because the third house is an air house, and then the Aquarius element is an air element. So with this being said, it's a trine, so you're able to have that easy flow of energy and have that gift. You see what I'm saying? Of communication, but it's like sometimes you're a bit flighty. So like kind of with this being said, so like just don't treat your associates just like oh they're always going to be my environment, and that's why I'll be around so many people, and it's just like there's a bunch of different groups in my environment. Kind of understand that you should care more for your associates in your environment. And with that being said, you'll be able to have this good new accumulation with the moon in Pisces in the fourth house, the new moon in Pisces, that new accumulation in your heart space. So you actually be able to, oh, okay, I don't want to treat everybody just like associates. I want to treat them more like family. So this is the time to figure out kind of who's more closer to your heart space and your environment. Be like, okay, this is the people that I can take into the new moon with me, kind of thing. And this is the environments I can go in with for the new moon type of thing. You'll be also figuring out what you need to shed. So on the lower octave, what you need to shed is people in your environment that don't build towards build with you. You see what I'm saying? That don't actually want to be a part of your associations, end up being part of your family. Because Aquarius kind of get that confused with that energy. Like the associations end up being closest friends, and then the closest friends end up being closer than actual family. So just don't get too emotionally comfortable with that. You see what I'm saying, with your environment. And the fourth house, with Aquarius in the fourth house, this would be the private space, the heart space. This would be a time to be reacting and responding to your private associations, the way that you feel, in the heart of hearts about your associates. So be building on your home. You see what I'm saying? This is like a kind of interesting alignment. It's a bit of a I think it's a misconjunction alignment. So like it's a misunderstanding. So like in your home, it's like you're even treated as an associate as well. This is a time to be shedding from people in their home that treat you just like an associate. They don't actually treat you like that family element, and they don't actually embrace they don't actually embrace that that connectivity, that air alignment. They don't communicate. People in your heart, they don't actually communicate their heart to you. You see what I'm saying? So they can't be family because they just stay in that associative realm of that fourth house, and they don't actually bring out where they want to go, a line of reasoning wise in their mind and things like that. They don't actually expose their mind to you. You know what I'm saying? They don't become vulnerable, and this is some shit that Dolo kind of speak on. Not kind of, but this is some shit that Dolo speak on, turning your vulnerabilities into an ego and end up being a phoenix, and then you become reborn. So boom, with this fourth house on that lower octave, if you are on that lower octave of treating your home people and family like associates, people that you're just like around for a period of time, and it's just like after that, fuck it. You see what I'm saying? This is the time to treat them more like family. You see what I'm saying? This is a time to, okay, even if you are on a certain ladder scale and we can't actually get together line of reasoning wise, this is a time to kind of compromise in a certain way because it's a misunderstanding. So in that fourth house, you want to actually feel comforted, and um, you want to feel that love. You see what I'm saying? You want to feel that family element, but it's a misunderstanding because everybody in your family treats their associates more like family than you. So it's just like kind of accept where you at and build on it towards actually getting people more into your mind and understanding where you're coming from and your life. You see what I'm saying, and why you see it like that. Um, and with that being said, on the higher octave, you're see what I'm saying. The people in your home actually do treat you like family, and you are like family forever. You see what I'm saying? Just even if you aren't blood, you see what I'm saying? You end up being like, that's my brother, and that's not even like your real like blood brother. You see what I'm saying? And then that's where you can actually like for example, maybe if you don't have any parents, you don't have any siblings or anything like that, you kind of in this world alone, then that'll be the people in your heart space, the people that actually say like, you know what, we might not be blood brothers, but we're brothers. You know what I'm saying? Or you might not be my actual brother, but I, what I'm saying, I'm your sister. You know what I'm saying? Type thing. You know what I'm saying? So you just want to get people that actually kind of like announce that to you, so I'm saying, and get that across that you actually kind of have to have that confirmation in that fourth house, that private space. Then the fifth house, this would be, well, pardon me, and then whenever you have that Pisces new moon in the fifth house, you'll be expressing yourself the right way. You'll be able to adapt to the other people's expressions the right way. And like I said, you have that starting point of actually being able to move in the right space. So boom, then the Pisces will help you out. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm saying, then with the Aquarius in the fifth house, this would be reacting and responding to your associations, and reacting and responding to your associations in their way of expressions. So on the higher octave, you're allowing to have your associates express themselves, and you're able to build on that together. You see what I'm saying? You allow it to be relatable, and you work together instead of against each other. In the lower octave, you're going to be working against your associates, and your expressions are going to be throwing off your associates and not allowing them to actually express themselves. You talk too much. You know what I'm saying? Kind of shut your mouth and just listen. You know what I'm saying? Quit being so unique and weird. The lower octave. So to get to the higher octave with that, it's just allow other people to express themselves, and also whenever you do have something to say, make sure you express it, but allow you to have that filtering system. Okay, am I casting pearls to swine? And if I am casting my pearls to swine, then what's the point of saying it? And then boom, once you have that thought pattern, you know what I'm saying? In the fifth house, you on that getting on that higher octave. So then you have the correct expression with your associates that actually matter to you, and you can actually consider family. So that's how you get to the higher octave in the fifth house. Get to with people that actually express themselves like your true associative group, and like you know what I'm saying, you close like that, y'all family. And then whenever you have those details in the sixth house, and the routine and pattern, you'll actually be able to say, okay, the way that you express yourself, I know I kind of am on that same exact vibration, and then in the fifth, and then within the sixth house, you'll be able to kind of have that same routine and pattern. Then you move on to the seventh house, and then whenever the moon goes into Aries, it'd be boom. You see what I'm saying? You got that Libra ascendant all ready to go. You see what I'm saying? You got all your relationships good. So then that's it for the Libra rising within the Aquarius fifth house. Aquarius sixth house. This would be the details, routines, and patterns and schedule, like I mentioned just a second ago, and also your health pattern. So this would be a time to react and respond to your you see what I'm saying? Maybe your doctor. This is a time to go to the doctor because you associate with the doctor. You see what I'm saying? This is a time to check out your health and your actual like line of reasoning, knowledge and wisdom of like where you want to go. You see what I'm saying? What routine and pattern you're sticking with. Where are your thoughts at? You see what I'm saying? Where is your mind at? What kind of mind are you creating in the sixth house? Is it a routine and pattern that brings you with your associations? You can be around your group. So the routine that you've got in the line of reasoning that you're creating on going throughout your day, you're actually lining up with the associates. For example, maybe you guys all, I mean, your group all gets off at the at 83rd and 4th Street, 83rd and Wilma. I don't even know what the New York terms all type LA shit, but you all get off on 83rd and Wilma, right? And you'll all get off on 83rd and Wilma at 6 o'clock in the evening. And that's the only reason that y'all started singing on the bus together, and now y'all a band. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you stay and got that routine and pattern, so that way you can actually create those bandmates to actually be family, and then y'all create the group, and then boom, y'all blast it off, and y'all the Jackson Five. You see what I'm saying? The new iteration, but y'all not really like family, but y'all call each other brothers, like I was explaining earlier. You see what I'm saying? And then you have that real good relationship in that seventh house, in the new moon, a new accumulation of your relationship, and so boom, you'll be able to go on to the next echelon of the career with the band. You see what I'm saying? Making a band with P Diddy and them. You see what I'm saying? And you got Birdman waiting to sign you after that, making the band. So you see what I'm saying? You rubbing his hands. You see what I'm saying? And then boom, you got them real good relationships. You Libra'd up. Pardon it, but it's not really Libra'd up, but it's that seventh house. You dig what I'm saying? Where Libra was birthed. So if you think about it, the Aquarius being here in the seventh house, this is pardon me, in the sixth house. Then this is in conjunction, just like the fourth house. So there's a bit of a misunderstanding on your routine and pattern, and also with your associates. So like, so I'm saying maybe one guy is like, dang, I kind of want to go get a burger before I get off on 83rd and Wilma. You see what I'm saying? I can go to the crib. And then boom, everything fucked up. It's not at what is that? What I say? 6 o'clock. It's not at 6 o'clock. He got off the bus at 7 o'clock, and now he the lead singer. Now they got to find a new lead singer on the way home. You dig what I'm saying? And then they found a new lead singer. Now you done fucked up your relationships. Damn, you didn't do the balsamic fizz right. You didn't shed the right way. You see what I'm saying? So that's how that would work with that. In the sixth house, your routine and pattern, and also your health. Maybe you didn't eat that goddamn burger. You see what I'm saying? Then you got Aquarius in the seventh house. This would be reacting and responding to your associations in your relationship. So it's an interesting alignment here because it's the opposite alignment. So you think about Aquarius being opposite to the Leo rising, obviously, in the seventh house. And with that being said, every relationship that you have is more of like a part of a group. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like the people that you get around, it's like they're all in the same kind of group think mindset. You see what I'm saying? Like it's all for the community. So this is the time like that you're reacting and responding. And I mean that maybe in a more I don't mean that in general. I'm just saying for maybe for some Leo rising, this is kind of what they're going through. Is that like every relationship they end up going through is just like just another associate. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, this is a time to actually figure out what relationship can you actually make a family with. You see what I'm saying? Who do you really feel that you can relate that much with? Is there a person in your space that you can get there with? You see what I'm saying? That you can end up being in the family space. Even if it's on like a partnership and you end up having children, or if it's just on a friendship and you could be friends for life. You know what I'm saying? A family for life type thing. That's what you're looking for on the higher octave with the seventh house here, and you're able to build on your relationship and actually take that relationship to the next echelon. You know what I'm saying? And then the lower octave in the seventh house here is going to be feeling uncomfortable reacting and responding to your relationships and what you're associated with in the relationship realm. So, like your previous relationships and who you've related with, you feel uncomfortable even pondering on that and actually shedding that, and you kind of like stuck in your ways in this aspect. Because think about that, that's just the Aquarius energy being here, and that's the fixed energy. So a fixed energy in the seventh house, you kind of like get stuck in this mindset and you just don't really shed it. You see what I'm saying? So this is the time to shed that associative your previous associations if you're single. But if you're in a relationship, this is a time to find people like pardon me, well, building on those relationships that actually benefit you. So I'm saying that are on the higher octave. You actually feel that you have things in common, you can relate, and you're working towards something. You know what I'm saying? And you have that behind the scenes things going on in the eighth house, and you know what I'm saying? Maybe that family is created. We're gonna leave it at that. Like I say, that's where you want to get in the higher octave. So then the ninth house, pardon me, and then in the eighth house with Aquarius, this would be reacting and responding to behind the scenes associations, your secret associations, people that are sacred to you, like sacred groups, things like that. So on the higher octave, the sacred group is benefiting you. We'll just leave it at kind of at that. The lower octave, the sacred group is not benefiting you, so you feel uncomfortable reacting and responding to your associations and what you're associated with and what you're building on in the association realm behind the scenes. So if you're on the lower octave, just shed that. Shed everybody that's behind the scenes and keep them behind the scenes. So I'm saying this is a time to transmute that group energy for that the eighth house. This is a time to shed those emotions that you've harbored behind the scenes and that nobody else really knows about. And this is the time to transmute them and just leave it at that. You see what I'm saying? Keep them in the eighth house, rebirth them in the ninth house, and you'll have that new knowledge and wisdom about what you just went through in the eighth house. You see what I'm saying? That'll be what you're going to go through for the new moon. And then, yeah, I mean, pretty much that's like cut and dry for that because it's all about transformation, rebirth, and death for the eighth house. Pretty much, if you're on the lower octave, you're scared. You're scared to shed that group. See what I'm saying? Ninth house. With Aquarius in the ninth house is your knowledge, wisdom, way of traveling in the external realm or actually in the mind. So, like I say, where your knowledge and wisdom takes you. And this is knowledge and wisdom in the group. So, this is feeling comfortable on the higher octave, reacting and responding to your associations and your associations' knowledge and wisdom. Like the ladder scale that you're on, you feel that they have a knowledge of wisdom that is akin to yours, and you can consider them family. So I'm saying this is what the Aquarius energy is all about. Like I say, is having that family aspect, and you end up like realizing those two individuals wasn't really family, but they ended up over time becoming family just because of the mindsets. You know what I'm saying? And then with the traveling and the knowledge and wisdom is like having a group that actually knows, you know what I'm saying, what's the best way to gain more associations, gain more people in the group. So this is like having a lecture and being able to promote it and knowing where to have that lecture at, having that knowledge and wisdom of where to travel and what would actually be the best place to draw people towards this group. You know what I'm saying? Because of the line of reasoning of thought. Like for example, like You want to go and be a jazz artist and have a jazz band, and that be your association group that you have a knowledge and wisdom about jazz. So you want to go make a jazz band, you might want to go to Utah. So I'm saying that might be a good knowledge and wisdom to have of um, maybe like you want to create a jazz band, for example. I mean, you could really do it anywhere, but I'm just creating the example. Utah, they name us the Jazz. You know what I'm saying? The basketball, since pause, the basketball realm. um, fucking, and then on the lower octave, you have this knowledge and wisdom that's not really taking you to anywhere. It's not this is a group that's not benefiting you. See what I'm saying? You don't have a knowledge and wisdom about where to go. The line of reasoning that you're on is leading you to stay on the couch. So I'm saying you're not traveling nowhere, even within the mind. Like the knowledge and wisdom that you got is taking you to the group help site, the FAQs. You see what I'm saying? That's your group, the internet. You see what I'm saying? It's like you're not actually traveling too far, even in the mind. So for example, like this is a time to have that group that can have that higher knowledge or wisdom and actually bring each other to a higher space. And like for example, maybe it hasn't accumulated in reality. You haven't seen every one of these individuals in reality, but boom, you're working towards it because you actually have this location that you plan to travel to, and you have a kid in mind too. So like, oh, we both want to travel there. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? That's another example of being on the higher octave, building on that knowledge and wisdom that you're akin to in the associative realm. Like I say, on the lower octave, this knowledge and wisdom doesn't take you anywhere. So like even in the mind, kind of like scared to associate with he probably is scared and uncomfortable reacting and responding to the knowledge and wisdom of the group. Like you don't actually express yourself when it comes to knowledge and wisdom, or you don't address your emotions when it comes to knowledge and wisdom in your group. For example, ninth house Aquarius, and if you're on that lower octave, get more comfortable associating with your knowledge and wisdom. Like the knowledge and wisdom that you have, feel more comfortable reacting and responding to where your mind is at and what you actually like to, what you feel comfortable line of reasoning, where you feel comfortable going in the mind. You know what I'm saying? And then with the 10th house, you'll have this new status in the for the new moon in Pisces for the Aquarius ninth house, and you'll be having a blueprint like, oh, okay, like this is my status now, and I know where I need to go. You know what I'm saying? I know what's the knowledge of wisdom, and whenever it goes back around to this next time 10th house, I'll know exactly what status I got and be able to build on that status. You know what I'm saying? And this will be that'll bring you to the higher octave, and whenever you have this new moon, so like what you want to shed is that old knowledge and wisdom that's not benefiting you. You know what I'm saying? That old knowledge and wisdom in the group. And then with Aquarius in the 10th house, you're gonna have the status, business, and blueprint. This is the things that you're going to be reacting and responding to. So what is like your associates that create your status? This is going to be what you're building on. You see what I'm saying? This is going to be a time to see, okay, does my associate put me in the higher realm of the status? Do they actually, do they have things going on, and can people look at their page and see like, oh, this individual's got things going on, and they're related to this other individual, so they must both be doing things. So I'm saying they're going somewhere in life. In the 10th house. So I'm saying your groups make you look like you're going somewhere. On the lower octave, the status that you have and the status of your associates is actually on that lower octave. So this is a time to shed those associates that are bringing down your status. You see what I'm saying? It's like 10th house is that Capricorn element or the devil card in the tarot, things like that. So like maybe this is the time to be like that. You see what I'm saying? You kind of gotta shed those associations and tell them, look, you ain't shit. Pardon me, but that's it. So I'm saying, wish you the best. That's all I got to say about it. And then that'll bring you to the better associations whenever the new moon in Pisces in your 11th house, and you'll have those associates that you'll be able to adjust to those emotions and see like, oh, okay, this was the better idea because I feel more comfortable in my associative realm, and these new accumulations make me feel more comfortable. So boom, and then we look at Aquarius in the 11th house. This will be reacting and responding to your associations and your groups. You see what I'm saying? And what you have going on with people that you're not like every day with It's not your seventh house. It's not your third house. It's not your environment. It's not your relationship. It's what you're associated to. It's your group. You see what I'm saying? So this is the time to, like I say, with your Aries rising or whatever your first house is generally for Aries rising. If you have a Aquarius in the 11th house, it's a time to shed that old group and shed the groups that aren't benefiting you, and you feel uncomfortable and you feel uncomfortable around the individuals that you feel uncomfortable around and the groups that you feel uncomfortable around. It's a time to shed that. And with the higher octave, you feel comfortable reacting and responding to your groups and associates, so that way you can actually build on your associative groups. So boom, and then with the 12th house, you'll have better dreams, illusions, and nightmares. So you'll be able to have this new moon in Pisces about, okay, oh man, that group I was a part of, man, I did shed from them, and they actually, I wasn't an illusion. That group I was a part of wasn't any good for me. You see what I'm saying? So now I have these new accumulations in my dreams, illusions, and nightmares. Now I can kind of see. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it'll play out whenever you have that new moon. You'll be able to kind of reflect. You see what I'm saying? And adapt to those emotions that you currently have. And you'll see like, okay, was shedding this group the right thing to do? Was it beneficial, higher octave? Was it non-beneficial, lower octave, or harmful? Or another way to put it, was it harmonious, higher octave, shedding from those groups? Was it harmonious, higher octave? Was it harmful, lower octave, shedding from those groups? And I feel like I'm kind of just in la la land. You see what I'm saying? With that Pisces energy. So boom, to finish it up, Aquarius in the 12th house, this would be responding to your dreams, illusions, and nightmares within your association, and your groups and your like way of dreaming in the public space. So like you think about like this is a time to shed those old illusions that you were in about your group. Shed those old dreams that you were going to have about your group. Like, for example, like, okay, let me make the band analogy again. So you already had that dream, illusions, and nightmare to go to San Francisco. Of okay, we all four are going to go to San Francisco after we graduate. All four of us are going to create a band, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be in a different space than we are now, this, that, and the third. And boom, you graduated now. Because, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Boom. We're gonna get a better analogy. Pause on the college analogy because it isn't time to graduate fucking college right now. But shit. For most people, let's think about a different analogy. Okay, you was at work, right? You had four people that you work with. Four people in the group. You see what I'm saying? You're a part of it. So three people that you work with. You said, all right, we all gonna quit and we all go create the band. So we all quit. They all quit their job, right? But nobody decides to get anybody's number. So they actually realize, no, we just quitting the job. And then you realize that you were in that illusion about the group. Like, oh, I thought they was being serious about going to San Francisco and create the band. Dag, now I'm all like ready to go create my own band, and I don't have a group to associate with because I was an illusion, and it was just a dream for me. You see what I'm saying? So that'd be where you're at with the lower octave or the higher octave now. You want to actually get a better group to associate with and a better dream to associate with. You see what I'm saying? And for that lower octave individual, like I say, you want to just kind of have the better line of reasoning, better dream that you can see more clear. You see what I'm saying? Have a better like you realize that thought doesn't really make sense. You see what I'm saying? You want to make sense about the dream and illusion before you actually kind of try to execute it. See what I'm saying? A little Pisces rising. So then whenever you're in that first house, you're gonna be having those personal affairs like, damn, I wasn't an illusion. Fuck. I thought we was gonna be in San Francisco today, playing jazz and blues and hard rock cafes and palladiums and all that. You see what I'm saying? And I thought I was gonna be lit in my 12th house. I thought my associates was gonna just keep my dreams with me. You see what I'm saying? But no, you gotta have a better line of reasoning if you're on the lower octave. So that way you you figure out where you actually want to be personally. So boom, you have those dreams, illusions, and nightmares on the higher octave. You actually see your personal self dealing with. You see what I'm saying? You see like, okay, I actually know where I want to associate with I know where I want to go personally. You know what I'm saying? In my life, what my trajectory is. That'd be the higher octave, and what you want to shed here. If you, like I say, if you want a lower octave, it's just those old dreams that you used to associate with, the ones that made you realize it was an illusion. You ain't actually gonna achieve them. So, you want to stick with the dreams that you can actually associate with, and you can actually achieve the line of reasoning. And your line of reasoning isn't faulty. It's not illusionary. You know what I'm saying? So that way you'll have a good accumulation and new accumulation whenever the moon hits this moon in Pisces. You know what I'm saying? New moon in Pisces in your first house. So you have real good personal affairs, real good personal accumulations, emotions you'll be able to adapt with real good, and in your personal life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, much love and holler back at me. Peace out. Dig what I'm saying? It's everyone you invite you. Ooh, I done flunked out. All right. we gonna be peacing out. You see what I'm saying? It's everyone's you and I verse. And this is Metaphor 77, the artist. You dig what I'm saying as well. The little artful alter ego. You know what I'm saying? I got it on my alter ego. You know what I'm saying? Much love. Holla back.